I'm excited that the Cardinals won against a really, really good Cincinnati Reds team.
Mm-hmm.
Waino was dominant. I think he lowered his ERA to 6.3, and hopefully they get another W tonight. I was very excited, but I do have to tell you this. In the media room, Charlie, you know what they have, the press food, and I had a couple of tacos. I was like, probably shouldn't do that because I'll be sitting in a camera well with no bathroom clothes.
Ooh.
And sure enough, it got me. And, I mean, when you have to go on the field between innings to find a restroom.
Oh, my God.
Because you're in a camera well. And there's honestly like a longer inning or you got a hit coming up. I was able to navigate it successfully, thankfully. But I thought to myself, this is I'm talking 3-4 trips during the game, and I thought to myself, Cam would appreciate this as grinding. And I think Waino had it right when he said, this is the devil's place.
Yeah.
That's what Cincinnati is, the devil's place.
Imagine Jimmy, though, if he couldn't make a bathroom.
He could just.
What would he do?
He could just go on the mound like the rest of the Cardinal pitchers.
What if it just happened? And oh, my God,
That was
Jimmy.
good.
See,
Thank you.
it's a grind.
Thank you.
It's a grind.
Okay, so Jim, you just gave me a perfect segue bringing up the devil because this will not surprise you, but our number one question for you has nothing to do with the game. All that we've talked about for really the whole first hour, we played Waino's clip. He said he has to dust his sandals off. Now, we were wondering, then people on the text line were wondering, was that a biblical reference a la Jesus wearing sandals, or was he actually physically wearing sandals when he said that during the interview? Can you tell us what's going on?
He was not wearing sandals.
Ooh, so it
was
was Jesus.
I believe it was a biblical reference.
I was wrong.
I'm not sure which part of the Bible, but I do know this. Joshua won the battle of Jericho. Jericho. Joshua won the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. That's all I got.
God.
I was wrong.
It was.
So he kind of compared himself to Jesus.
He kind of did. I think he should have played all the way through the game, Jimmy.
How do you take that guy out when he's dealing? How do you take him out when he's dealing like that?
No wonder he was so
Soft
pissed off.
contact.
It is funny because I did ask him about it, and it was so obvious that he was ticked off. So I'm in the camera well, and good job for Bally's capturing some of it. So you have Joe McEwing in because Ollie got tossed, and you could see he comes out, and Waino's like, really? You're taking me out? Really? Well, yeah, you're at 77 pitches, but you're not good tonight. You know, it's not your ballpark. Your ERA here is probably now around 6, so we're going to take you out. And Waino was shocked by it, so I asked him, and you could see he still kind of felt like he should have stayed in the game because, as he said, he'd give up a bloop, then a double, and then a bloop, and a double. So I understand why they took him out, but Waino was not at all happy about it. And it continued when he came down the stairs to go into the dugout. He was talking to Dusty Blake, and then Joe McEwen did kind of pull him aside and say, come here. It wasn't like he was angry, but he was really, I think, not understanding why they pulled him at that point, which I thought was probably a prudent move. And I think the Deus would agree, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
And
Nolan
Sharon.
Arenado, we looked at the couple pitches that probably, at least one of them wasn't a strike. The other one kind of borderline, but he gets run. Could you hear, did he say the magic word? It didn't look like he was even looking at the ump. Looked like he was walking off. He was taking off his batting gloves, getting ready to go to the field. So did he say the magic word? Was it a quick trigger? What happened?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I shouldn't even say this.
Get ready, Seth.
But I got a call from ball game between innings. Ask me about something. So I'm trying to get off the phone because I see this thing develop. So I had to hang up on Jimmy. I still had like one good ear. I didn't hear anything. Like he wasn't yelling, so it wasn't anything like anyone could hear. Arenado was kind of walking back to the dugout. Obviously wasn't happy with the calls by the home plate umpire. But no, it wasn't anything that was tangible. He must have said something that the little could hear, and so we ran him, and that set Ollie off. I love it when Ollie gets fired up, but I would be fired up too because you can't have thin skin when you're a home plate umpire. But I was a little distracted, but I didn't hear anything, and I think I would have if it was like something that he screamed at the home plate umpire.
Well, we did the math. Ollie's leading the league in ejections early in the year here, so he's got stiff competition in David Bell and Aaron Boone. But let's see what we can do to get that for the boys this year.
I like it.
I do too.
I did peek around the corner. I could see him. I could see Ollie.
Well, it's your best player,
David
Jimmy.
Bell is a funny thing. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have talked to him before. Bell might be like the chillest guy. You would never imagine he would get fired up at umpires the way he does. Because if you meet him, he is like the ultimate polite, soft-spoken guy. But he blows up on the field. I love that Ollie does. I love that Bell does it. I think it's good for baseball. I really do. Like, I'm not talking about like berating anyone, but it's a good little spark. And you're showing your team, I'm going to stand up for you. And when your star gets tossed for basically nothing, I think the manager should go off on that.
It's funny you say that because even though I had great experiences with David Bell, he one time kind of chirped me, and I don't think it was my fault because it was one of those playoff series against the Cubs, so it was, 2015? You know how small the Cubs visiting clubhouse is. All the media's in there. There's nowhere to go. You're sardines. And I have to try to stand, and David Bell's trying to get dressed. Comes out of the shower. I had nowhere to go. It was not my fault. I was doing anything I could to not
Was he naked?
impede him. Well, he's getting dressed. I have nowhere to go.
Get away from him, poor guy.
I was trying the whole dude. There's 50 media members in a visitors clubhouse that there should probably be 7 people in there, Jim.
Oh no.
So what did he say to you?
He said something like something along the lines of have some self-awareness.
Oh.
And I'm literally jam-packed.
Were you late getting in there?
No, I think it might have not just been at me, like all the media. But, dude, don't let us in there then. That's all I'm saying.
So
okay.
You got Yogi Berra,
Wait.
you got David Bell.
I know.
Yeah, but Charlie, when you were in your prime doing stuff
Still
on
am.
TV, when you were in your prime, you were a little self-important.
You were.
Like
No.
you felt you were more important than anyone else.
He is. Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
maybe
yep,
that's
yep,
fair.
yep.
On to the next question. So here's the deal. We chirp Cole every once in a while, but we love Cole. And I think Cole did a great job today of naming the first segment on Hot Take Central on the podcast, if people want to go listen to the first segment. Cole called it, segment 1, Cardinals win and we're still displeased. And I think that's apt because, look,
Very good,
it is
Cole.
the Reds.
Good job, Cole.
Okay, they had a good 2-week span. They beat a bunch of good teams. Everybody gave the Cardinals credit for that. But then they go to Cincinnati. They win one, they lose one, or vice versa. But, they have to score 8 runs to win. We look at this team and we feel like, okay, you beat the Reds, but you're not going to advance in the playoffs if your starters are giving up 5 every night.
So, all right, 2 things. I totally agree. The Reds are awful, one of the worst teams in baseball. The Central is awful, one of the worst divisions. The AL Central is just as bad. So I agree with that. To lose the first game, I don't care what happened. This is not a major league lineup you're facing. The good news is you got Matz going tonight, whose ERA is just a tick over 5.
Yeah.
But I will say this, so for Cole naming it that, I think is right on point. But I still had a leftover grievance. We're a grievance show.
Sure.
With Cole, because I saw on Twitter or on the group text, I can't remember what it was. I'm an old, so I don't know the difference between a text and a tweet. But I saw him now say, I'm no longer Cole not here, because he had a red-hot streak of one day showing up on time. And suddenly he gets to change the name Cole not here? I don't think so.
Jimmy.
2 in a row.
Jimmy, we asked Kiz, too. We're like, hey, Kiz, what's it like walking in late to work? Da-da-da-da. And I kind of set it up. And he goes, I don't know, Cam. I was never late for anything. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, and then I asked him, well, what about college? You probably had some college buddies at NC State. Maybe they were late. He goes, I didn't even associate with that. I didn't even know what it was like to be late.
Exactly.
Well, Kat, I think that what you
Exactly
need to
right.
do, I don't know if he's got to be in the lineup tonight. Doesn't really matter to me. This show comes first, as
Dang
you don't
right.
know.
Correct.
Get
You're
together with Kiz and figure this out. We need to get this sorted out. We need to know where Cole stands in the hierarchy of things because he did try to get Kiz to rat on his boys.
Yeah, he did.
It's not really the kind of.
Yeah, he kinda did.
That's not cool.
And then Seth hung up on Kiz.
Yeah, God, that's right.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Jimmy, I know.
Unbelievable.
I think Seth.
Harrison Bader all over
It's
again.
Cole here.
I think Seth and Cole are in business together.
They are.
The 590 landscaping crew.
They don't want to interview anybody.
Wait, so what happened? He hung up on him. Tell me.
Well,
There was another call,
I
pressed the wrong button.
He pressed the
I
wrong
accidentally
button.
pressed Kiz's.
I was just about to praise Kiz, pump his tires up, tell him good luck. We love him. We're praying for him.
He's wearing sandals.
He gets us. I gave him that little line too, but then it was all bleeped out because Seth hung up on him, so he thinks we just hung up on him.
And Seth's excuse is that I had to pick up the phone because it might have been Randy.
No, Jimmy, I think it was
Or Hockey
Randy.
Bob.
I think it was Randy.
Yeah.
So I have another thing that I want to self-report on, if I may.
Go ahead, baby.
So I got a quick, when I'm grinding, Cam, I got to come up with, even after a bad loss against a really good Cincinnati Reds team, things that are newsy to put in my first part of the pregame. And I was like, let's see, New Bar.
Even in Cincinnati, he does it. He coughs in Cincinnati and St. Louis.
Oh, man.
We're mature.
So that's great. So the night before, he had a pinch hit RBI double, which broke a 1 for 24. And Newt's had a pretty good season, so I looked at the numbers and everything. I'm going to ask him about how you adjust ups and downs of the season. So I go over and I talk to him, and he goes, "You're the cooler." I go, "Excuse me, what?" He goes, "You're the cooler," like in that movie. Mm-hmm. Like, you talk to me, and then I'm going to go 0 for 4.
Oh.
I go, let me just tell you something, Newt. I go, that's a dangerous thing to throw out there. First of all, it's not true.
William H. Macy.
I talked to you before you became a superstar, international star in Japan, and you've had a very good major league career. And he goes, nope, it's Jimmy the Cooler. He's just, kind of busting my chops. So after the game, the first thing I do is go up to him because he went 2 for 5. If you go 2 for 5, and Matt Whitener, I think you're a good stats guy. If you go 2 for 5 and you extrapolate that out, that you're a 400 hitter.
You're Ted Williams.
Hall of Fame.
Dang right.
You're a Hall of Fame. So I go to Newt. So are we done with the Cooler? 2 hits, 2 for 5, and he goes, "No, they were just singles."
Yeah, soft contact, Jimmy.
Oh, don't say that.
Soft
Charlie's
contact.
Charlie's a
little upset about.
So, Charlie, let's figure this out while we got Cat here.
Yeah.
So the at bat that has been stuck in Charlie's side like a spear all day.
Charlie never gets rattled or mad or even anything like that. He's always cool, calm, and collected.
Charlie came out the gates today
did.
like it was the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
Because there were hits that were being called hard contact that he did not feel like were being reported the right way.
What do
Now,
you have to say about that?
Last night's game or in his 1 for 24?
No.
Because when he called it, he said this one. Just hear me out. He said when he was in a 1 for 24, they looked, and he said I was hitting the ball well, and he said in fact my contact was a quality baseball contact as good as I've had all year. I just was in tough luck. And then I had a producer check that, and by the numbers, he was right. There was a lot of hard contact. Charlie, you say it's not accurate.
No, this was
it's
about
completely different.
This was about Waino.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, listen, I love Waino. We love Waino. He wears sandals.
He's
He
with
got
Jesus.
biblical references. We all want him to get to 200 wins.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and even him kind of, I thought his post game was great, by the way. Seriously. We played it. You were funny. It was great. He said this place is hell or the curse or whatever. I just thought during the game, like he's not cruising.
No.
It's not all about soft contact. We looked it up. There were a couple outs that were 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right? And I just think it speaks also to the pitching staff. They don't strike anybody out, and there's no more shift. So if any pitching staff is going to be more affected by bloops and contact, it's the Cardinals.
He was chirping Chip Carey. I'll say it.
There was one. Okay.
He was chirping Chip Carey.
There
Just
was
go ahead
one,
and say, don't beat around the bush.
All right. There's one play. It was a shot to right field at the warning track, and I heard the term soft contact. And I was just watching, drinking my coffee. And I go, that didn't seem like soft contact. and I looked it up on Baseball Savant, and it was 97 miles an hour. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is with Waino, we love Waino. We all want him to get to 200 wins, but we also we can be honest about how he's pitching.
Accountability.
We can be honest.
We can be honest.
Listen,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to let you.
I love you guys.
I'm not going to let you chirp any of my Bally's teammates. Sure, I'm Hot Take Central, but don't you go after my boy Chip. But in regard to Waino, I kind of know exactly what you're saying, and I will say this too. Like what was his fourth start, and each time he's like, got to figure it out. And we've seen this before him win. Got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Oh, the next start, and he's like, I know what's coming. A hot streak's coming, and then it doesn't. And then he has course corrected before, so he has a track record. He got a resume of fixing things. But this year, it just feels a little different. So I understand. Yes, would I say that the damage that was done against Waino was all from soft contact? Absolutely not, because there were some rockets, there were some bloops, but I think what he said was essentially true. It'd be like bloop, okay, I can fix this, and then rocket. Like he paid the price for those bloop hits with balls that were not soft contact. So I agree with you, Charlie.
Yeah.
See, we agree.
Oh, but they do say bloop. There was all these bloops are happening all over the place. So I don't know. It's all good. It was weird to see Waino try to stay in the game, and it was time. And then they kind of went in the dugout. I don't know. It was time. God.
But the fact that I was able to get through it the way that I did, based on when I had some internal combustion working,
God.
Cam, don't you feel I was heroic?
Why'd you eat tacos, Jimmy?
That's all they had up there.
Oh God, man.
Beef tacos?
Yeah. Well, they had chicken and beef. I had the beef, and I probably shouldn't. I probably should have bypassed it all.
Yeah.
But it's still with me here. Like I'm heroic this morning.
Oh, man.
My stomach's still bothering, but you can't tell by my by the level of quality with my call. So we're good.
You're doing good.
Sure. Question: where does it rank up there when you get to take a road trip and you get to go? You get the honor of going to both Cincinnati and Cleveland in the same week.
Wow.
No, I'm coming home, Charlie.
Oh,
Yes, he is.
When are you back?
So tomorrow, what is it? Friday. I'm back Thursday night. The reason I'm not Hot Take Central Friday, laugh, is because that's my kid's graduation ceremony in the morning on Friday. So I'm actually I'm going to give them kudos on this. I mean, we may be fighting the battle financially, but they were very kind. Because I didn't even know my kid, he's graduating 8th grade, Tyler, as you all know. And I didn't know they had a ceremony. They didn't have a ceremony when I graduated middle school, but they do. And he said to me, and he doesn't ask for much.
Hey,
He's a
Pop.
good kid. He said, Dad, any chance you could be there? Are you going to be there? And so I asked off, and they said, sure. So I'm flying out of here tomorrow night, and I will be at his graduation Friday morning.
You're a good dad.
He's a good daddy, isn't he?
You're a good dad.
No, you know what it is? No, I'll be honest. You know what I was thinking? Like I'm old now, and I'm on the clock, and I'm thinking, you know what? In 3 years from now, I'll be in a hospital room with tubes in my nose, and I won't care about that Cleveland series.
Wait, how many years did you say?
He's 3.
I said 3. I'm just being funny. Can I say something about Rick Hummel? I know you guys.
Oh yes, yeah,
we
absolutely.
talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
So, I don't do for pregame. I don't talk to other media a lot because I think it's too easy. Hey, I'm going to grab a guy because he's standing there, and I'll do my segment. But I did Rick Hummel to celebrate one of his anniversaries, and plus, he's a guy you could learn from. And I didn't want to post that on social media because everyone's like, "Hey, look, here's a picture of me with Rick." I didn't want to do that, but I asked him about his longevity, and he said, and I'm sure he said this to other people, so I'm not trying to say broke news, but it stayed with me. He said, "I treat players the way I want to be treated, and even if they treat me badly or short with me or don't talk to me when I want, I don't keep track of that because my thing is." I don't want to have an axe to grind with anyone. That way I can be fair. And someone said to me, that's what made Rick Hummel special, is he took himself out of it. He never had an axe to grind with anyone. So he was fair toward everyone. And I thought to myself, man, that's how you do it. I can't do it. If someone slights me, I'm going to get him back somehow. Rick Hummel was never like that. On top of being such a talented writer, he was fair, and he was an admirable human being. That's all I had.
Yeah. And
Well said.
We've heard that from, you know how it is, Jimmy, man. Like you know, when you got a guy that's been around that long, you kind of know a lot about him, a lot of internal stuff, and that kind of gets out a little bit. But I haven't heard one bad thing about that man, you know, not one. So that was a tough one, man. All right, Jimmy. Well, hey, stay away from the damn tacos. You can't have an
Don't
accident.
run that back.
But if you do have an accident, though, and the camera's on you, I mean, I'm still going to watch. You know, I'm still going to watch that car wreck.
I learned from Rick Hummel. I also learned from Charlie. If there's ever going to be that kind of accident, I'm going to put it on social media. Monetize,
baby.
Or Paul Pierce.
Check this out.
You can Paul Pierce it and just
Wait a minute.
be wheeled out in a wheelchair.
Let's get ready to monetize.
Yes.
They bring the old school bullpen card out and take Cat off the outfield.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. That'd be funny. No, it wouldn't be funny, Cat. It wouldn't be funny. We'd still watch them. All good, man.
All right, boys.
All right, dude. Go do your
Seth,
thing.
don't hang up on Cat. Let him say goodbye.
See ya,
Any
Cat.
final words?
See ya, Cat. We'll be watching tonight. homie.
Cat,
next week,
enjoy tonight's 7-5 victory.
Yes.
Text us during tuna segment.
Yes. Tuna's up next anyway. All right, Cat. We'll see you, buddy. Later. Jimmy the Cat Hayes, live from Cincinnati,
Ohio,
Ohio.
the greatest state in the union, home to myself and Cole.
That's right. That's
A
right.
real state.
I didn't know Cole's from there.
Who's your favorite Ohioan?
He only wears every single
Great
jersey.
question. Where should we go, Cole? Should we go Neil Armstrong?
Oh, he's a good
John
one.
Glenn is up there.
John Glenn.
Wait. Did I mess up?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Is Neil Armstrong not from there?
Oh, there you go.
Jesus.
There you
Isn't
go.
Neil Armstrong Wapakoneta?
He might be.
Dahmer.
Am I wrong? there?
Gesundheit.
Jeffrey Dahmer's from Ohio. He looks like he's from Ohio.
Is he really?
Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, cool.
Hold on a
me
second.
see.
Dahmer, I thought he was from Milwaukee.
Oh, he is from Milwaukee.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was born.
no,
He's a Milwaukee cannibal,
He just
right?
went to
But
Ohio State.
his dad lived in the Ohio too. I believe.
Same thing. He's got
We
roots
got
in
rid
Ohio.
of him. We sent him to Wisconsin.
LeBron James.
Oh,
LeBron
LeBron
James.
James. What's
Good
he
one.
going to do?
Good one.
What's he
Urban
going to
Meyer,
Joe Burrow.
do? Oh,
Joey Burrow.
Joe.
Yeah.
He's wheeling, doing his thing. Maybe dusting off the sandals, man. I'm done and going to retire. Rusty Nail. No, he's with Jesus. That's what that is.
Dusting off my sandals.
Like, what are you gonna? What does that mean? Like, you gonna walk on water?
Jesus would strike out 11.
Jesus would have struck out all kind. Jesus would at least gone to the seventh inning.
The seventh day, he rose again.
That's right. I knew that.
You think that's the reason they shouldn't pitch every 5 days? They should pitch every
Yes.
7 days.
To be more godly.